June walked home from work with his shoulders slumped. Another day alone. Another night with no one to talk to. The tall buildings of Seoul's tech district glowed around him in the evening light. June was good at his job. He designed parts for spaceships at a big company. But he had no time for friends or dating. Work took all his hours, and his apartment stayed empty except for him. His phone buzzed in his pocket. June pulled it out and saw a message from an unknown number. Special invitation. New technology for lonely souls. Follow the map. Below was a blinking dot on a map. It showed a spot just 2 blocks away. Probably just junk, June muttered. But he was curious, and he had nothing better to do. He followed the map to a narrow alley between 2 huge buildings. There, wedged between a noodle shop and a repair store, was a shop he had never noticed before. The sign read Future Friends, Companions of Tomorrow. A small bell rang as June pushed open the door. The shop was small but clean. Glass cases lined the walls. Inside them were strange devices of all shapes and sizes. Welcome, welcome. An old man appeared from behind a curtain. He had a friendly smile and unusually bright eyes that seemed to change color in the light. I've been expecting you, June. June stepped back. How do you know my name? The old man laughed. Your company badge is still on your jacket. June looked down. His badge was indeed still clipped to his pocket. He felt silly. I'm looking for someone who wants more than an empty home, the old man said. Someone who understands loneliness. That's kind of creepy, June said, turning to leave. Wait. The old man hurried to one of the glass cases. I have something special. Just arrived yesterday. He unlocked the case and pulled out an egg-shaped object. It was smooth and white with blue lines running across its surface, about the size of a melon. What is it? June asked, his interest catching despite himself. A Galaxpet, the newest smart companion, much better than those robot dogs everyone has. This learns and adapts to you. It becomes what you need most. The old man placed the egg in June's hands. It was warm and seemed to pulse gently, like it was breathing. It's expensive, I bet, June said. For others, yes. For you. The old man tapped at a screen. Half price. Because it's meant for you. That doesn't make sense. Why me? The old man's eyes seemed to flash. Some technology finds its proper owner. This one wants you, June. June should have left. This was weird. But the egg felt right in his hands, and his apartment was so quiet, so empty. How does it work? He asked. The old man smiled. Take it home. Press the blue circle on top. The rest happens naturally. June checked the price. It was still a lot of money, but he had saved up. No vacations or fancy dinners for one meant his bank account was healthy. Fine, he said at last. I'll take it. The old man clapped his hands together. Excellent. You won't regret this purchase. He wrapped the egg in soft cloth and placed it in a box. June paid and put the box carefully in his backpack. As he reached the door, the old man called after him. One more thing, June. June turned back. Don't be afraid when it happens. Remember, this is a friend, not a tool. When what happens? June asked. But the old man had vanished behind the curtain again. Outside, June looked back at the shop. For a second, he thought the whole building flickered, like a bad TV signal. He blinked, and it was solid again. June hurried home, the egg warm against his back. He didn't know it then, but his life was about to change forever. June placed the egg-shaped device on his living room table. His apartment was clean but plain. No pictures on the walls. No plants. Just the basics. So I just press this, he asked the empty room. The blue circle on top of the egg seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. June took a deep breath and pressed his finger against the circle. Nothing happened. Great, he mumbled. I wasted my money on. The egg suddenly glowed bright blue. June stepped back, knocking over a chair. The light from the egg filled the room, so bright he had to cover his eyes. Then came a cracking sound. The egg was splitting open, but instead of breaking into pieces, it seemed to unfold like a flower. The light grew even brighter. "What's happening?" June shouted, ducking behind his couch. A wave of energy pushed through the room. The lights flickered. His TV turned on and off. His phone buzzed with strange symbols on the screen. And then silence. Slowly, June peeked over the couch. Where the egg had been, a girl now sat on his table. She looked about his age, with long dark hair. But she wasn't human. Not quite. Her skin had a soft glow to it, changing colors slightly as she moved. Her ears were a bit pointed at the tips. And her eyes, they shifted from blue to purple to green as she blinked. She looked around, confused. When she saw June, she jumped back, almost falling off the table. "Who are you?" they both asked at the same time. The girl spoke first. "You're not a Vorseth." She sounded relieved. Her voice was musical, with an accent June couldn't place. "A what?" June was still hiding half behind the couch. "What are you? What happened to my galax pet?" The girl looked down at herself, then at pieces of the eggshell on the table. "Oh, you think I'm a pet?" She laughed, a sound like small bells. "That device was my escape pod. It was only supposed to look like your Earth technology." June slowly stood up. "Escape pod. Earth technology. Are you saying you're an alien?" "Yes." She nodded. "My name is Neri. I'm a luminary from the star system you call HD 40,307. June felt dizzy. He sat down hard on the floor. "This can't be happening." Neri slid off the table and approached him carefully. "I'm sorry for the shock. My pod was damaged. It wasn't supposed to open until it found a safe location." She knelt in front of him. "Are you okay?" Up close, June could see that her skin wasn't just glowing. It had tiny patterns that moved like stars in a night sky. "You're really an alien," he whispered. "Yes." Neri bit her lip. "And I need help. I'm a refugee. My world was attacked by the Vorseth. They're hunting me." June's mind raced. "I should call someone. The police or the government or—" "No." Neri grabbed his arm. Her touch was warm, like sunshine. "Please don't. I don't know if your leaders would help me or hand me over. The Vorseth have spies everywhere." "Why should I trust you?" June asked, pulling his arm away. "This is crazy." Neri's eyes turned deep blue. Sad. "You don't have to trust me. But if you turn me in, they will find me. And then they will find you too." "Is that a threat?" June stood up. "No. A warning." She pointed to the remains of the egg. "My pod chose you for a reason. It sensed something in you. Compassion, maybe. Or loneliness like mine." June stared at her. This couldn't be real. But she was there, glowing slightly in his plain apartment, making it suddenly seem full of possibilities. "If I help you," he said slowly, "what happens next?" Neri's eyes shifted to a hopeful green. "First, I need to hide. Then I need to learn about your world." She looked around the apartment. "Can I stay here? Just until I figure things out?" June knew he should say no. This was dangerous, impossible. But for the first time in years, his empty apartment didn't feel so empty anymore. "Okay," he said, "you can stay. For now." Neri smiled, and the room seemed to get brighter. 3 days had passed since Neri appeared in June's apartment. June sat at his kitchen table, watching her examine his toaster with great interest. "So your people can travel between stars, but you're amazed by toast?" June asked, sipping his coffee. Neri looked up with bright yellow eyes. Her curious color. "We have different technology, not better in all ways. This is simple but clever." She pressed the lever down and waited. June still wasn't sure if he believed her story, but she was definitely not human. Last night, she had fixed his broken TV by simply touching it, and sometimes, when she slept, she floated a few inches above the couch. "You need to tell me more," Jun said. "Who are the Luminary? Why are these Vorsaf after you?" The toast popped up. Nari jumped back, then laughed at herself. She took the toast and sat across from Jun. "My people, the Luminary, can connect with energy fields," she explained, taking a bite. "We feel them, shape them, use them to build and heal." "Like electricity?" Jun asked. "That and more. Quantum fields, gravity waves, things your science is just starting to understand." Jun nodded. "And these Vorsaf?" Nari's eyes turned dark gray. "Fear. They want to use us. Our bodies can hold and direct energy. The Vorsaf want to turn us into living batteries for their ships and weapons." The thought made Jun sick. "That's horrible." "They invaded our world 2 years ago," Nari continued. "I was a scientist working on defense technology. When our main city fell, I escaped in a research pod. It was damaged during flight. The pod had to hide as something that would blend in here." "A pet," Jun said. "Yes. It scanned your networks and found that smart pets were common enough to not draw attention." Jun thought for a moment. "But you can't stay looking like this. Someone will notice you're not human." Nari smiled. "Watch." She closed her eyes. The glow of her skin faded. The moving patterns disappeared. When she opened her eyes again, they stayed a normal brown color. Now she looked like any Korean woman, pretty but ordinary. "How did you do that?" Jun asked, amazed. "My body adapts. It's part of why the Vorsaf want us." She sighed, and for a moment her eyes flashed their true colors. "But it takes energy. I need to return to my pod form every few days to rest." "Your pod form? You mean the egg?" Nari nodded. "I can reform it from the pieces. When I'm in it, I recharge." Jun sat back, thinking. "So you can look human. That helps. But you'll need clothes, documents, a background story if you're going to stay here. You'll help me?" Nari's eyes briefly flashed green with hope. Jun wasn't sure why he was doing this. Maybe it was the sadness in her voice when she talked about her world, or maybe he was tired of being alone. "Yes," he said. "I'll help you, but we need rules. First, stay in human form when anyone might see you. Second, no using your powers where people might notice." "Powers?" Nari looked confused. "The glowing, floating, fixing things by touching them." "Oh, those are just basic luminary traits, not powers. But yes, I understand." Jun's phone beeped. A message from his friend Hyun. "Still coming to my place tonight. Dinner at 7. Jun had forgotten. He looked at Nari, then back at his phone. "Change of plans," he said. "We're going out tonight. You'll meet my friend Hyun." He paused. "As my cousin, from a small town, visiting the city." "A cousin," Nari repeated. "I can do that." Jun hoped this wasn't a terrible mistake, but he couldn't keep her hidden in his apartment forever. "It'll be fine," he said, trying to convince himself. "Just act normal." Nari smiled, and for a second, her skin glowed before she controlled it again. "Normal," she said. "I'll try my best." "So, Nari, how long are you staying in Seoul?" Hyun asked, passing her a bowl of rice. They sat in Hyun's small apartment. Jun watched nervously as Nari carefully copied how Hyun held his chopsticks. "Just a few weeks," Nari said, the lie coming out smoothly. "Until I find a job." Hyun nodded. "What kind of work do you do?" Jun tensed. They hadn't prepared for this question. "Science," Nari said quickly. "Energy research." Hyun looked impressed. "Really?" Jun never mentioned his cousin was a scientist. "We haven't talked much in recent years," Jun said, trying to change the subject. "How's your new game project going, Hyun?" But Hyun was focused on Nari. "Your Korean is perfect for someone from a small town. No accent at all." Nari's eyes almost flashed with color before she controlled it. I had a good teacher. The food was delicious, but June couldn't enjoy it. Every question felt like a trap. Nari was doing well, but one slit could reveal the truth. This is wonderful, Nari said, pointing to a side dish. What is it called? Kimchi. Hyun looked confused. You've never had kimchi. June jumped in. Her family doesn't eat spicy food. Different tastes in her region. Hyun nodded, but he gave June a strange look. Interesting cousin you have, June. After dinner, they walked back to June's apartment. The night was cool, and the city lights glowed around them. Did I do okay? Nari asked quietly. You did great, June said, but Hyun is suspicious. We need to be more careful. Nari stopped suddenly, looking up. Beautiful, she whispered. June followed her gaze. It was just the night sky, mostly hidden by light pollution. Only a few stars were visible. You can barely see any stars here, he said. Not the stars. The digital networks. Nari's eyes were wide with wonder. The data flowing above the city. It's like a rainbow you can't see. June stared at her. You can see internet signals. Of course, all energy has patterns. She pointed up. Your whole world is connected by invisible rivers of information. It's beautiful. A woman passing by gave them a strange look. June quickly pulled Nari along. Remember the rules, he whispered. No alien stuff in public. When they reached June's building, the lobby was dark. Power outage, said Ms. Park, the building manager. She held a flashlight, looking annoyed. Might be hours before it's fixed. In the elevator, Nari whispered, I can help. Absolutely not, Jum said firmly. When they entered his dark apartment, Jum stumbled over a chair. This is silly, Nari said. No one will see. Before June could stop her, Nari let her human disguise drop. Her skin began to glow with a soft blue light, bright enough to illuminate the room. The patterns under her skin moved like flowing water. Much better, she said, smiling. June had to admit it was beautiful. Nari walked around the apartment, touching his appliances. One by one, they came to life. The lights, the refrigerator, his computer. How are you doing this? He asked. Redirecting energy from the building's backup systems. No one will notice. June sat on the couch, watching her. You're amazing, he said without thinking. Nari's glow turned slightly pink. Was she blushing? His phone rang. It was Hyun. Hey, do you have power? Hyun asked. The whole block is out. June looked at his fully lit apartment. No. Total darkness here too. Weird. I can see lights in your windows from the street. June froze. What? I'm outside your building. Forgot my jacket at work, so I'm heading back there. Your place is the only one with lights on. How is that possible? I have to go, Jum said, hanging up. He turned to Nari, who was still glowing. Turn everything off. Hyun is outside. He can see the lights. Nari's eyes widened. The glow of her skin dimmed, and the apartment went dark again. There was a knock at the door. Hide in the bathroom, June whispered to Nari. She nodded and slipped away quietly. The knocking came again, louder this time. June took a deep breath and opened the door, ready to make excuses to Hyun. But it wasn't Hyun. A tall man in a black suit stood there. His face was too perfect, like a doll's. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Good evening, the man said. Sorry to bother you so late. I'm from the building management. We're checking all apartments during the power outage. June knew this was a lie. Miss Park managed the building herself. Everything's fine here, June said, trying to close the door. The man's hand shot out, stopping the door. His strength was surprising. I need to check inside, he said, his smile gone. It won't take long. June's heart raced. Do you have ID? The man reached into his pocket and pulled out a card. It looked official, but the name on it, Agent Kim, seemed too simple. Fine, Jun said, pretending to believe him. But be quick. I was about to go to bed. The man stepped inside and looked around the dark apartment. His eyes seemed to glow slightly in the darkness. You live alone? He asked, moving towards the kitchen. Yes. The man picked up a cup. 2 cups were on the counter from tea Jun had made earlier. 2 cups, the man said. My friend was here earlier, Jun said quickly. The man nodded, but his eyes narrowed. He walked towards the bathroom. No need to check in there, Jun said, stepping in his way. Just a bathroom. I need to be thorough, the man said, pushing past Jun. Just as he reached for the bathroom door, the power came back on. Lights flickered to life throughout the apartment. The man paused, then turned away from the bathroom. Everything seems in order, he said, heading back to the front door. Thank you for your cooperation. As he reached the door, he turned back. If you see anything unusual, strange lights, electrical disturbances, people who don't quite fit in, please call this number. He handed Jun a plain white card with only a number on it. Sure, Jun said, taking the card. The man left, and Jun quickly locked the door behind him. He rushed to the bathroom. Nari, are you okay? The bathroom was empty. Nari, Jun called, panic rising in his voice. Up here, came a soft reply. Jun looked up. Nari was pressed against the ceiling, her body completely flat like a sticker. Slowly, she peeled herself off and floated down. You can flatten yourself, Jun asked, amazed. When I have to, Nari said, shaking herself back to normal shape. That was a Vorsath scout. The man in the suit, he looked human. Nari's eyes turned dark gray with worry. They use body covers to blend in. Did you see how perfect his face was? Too symmetrical. How did he find us? Jun asked. My energy signature, probably. When I powered your apartment, it created a spike they could detect. She looked guilty. I'm sorry. Jun's phone rang again. This time he answered more carefully. Hello. It's me, Hyun said. Power's back, but something weird is happening. There's men in suits going door to door in your building. One stopped me outside and asked if I'd seen any unusual people or lights. What did you tell him? Jun asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Nothing, of course. But Jun, what's going on? Who's really staying with you? Is it a girlfriend you're hiding for some reason? Jun looked at Nari, who was listening with worried eyes. I can't explain now, Jun said. But I need help. Can you come over tomorrow morning? Early, before I go to work. There was a pause. You're in trouble, aren't you? Yes, Jun admitted. I'll be there at 7, Hyun said, then hung up. Nari looked at Jun with surprise. You're going to tell him the truth. We need help, Jun said, and Hyun is the only person I trust. Outside the window, a small drone hovered, watching them. Neither of them noticed it. She's an alien, Jun said. Hyun sat on the couch, staring at Nari. It was 7:15 a.m. Jun had just finished explaining everything. An alien, Hyun repeated. He didn't look surprised. He didn't look anything. His face was blank. I know it sounds crazy, Jun said. Show him, Nari said quietly. Nari closed her eyes. Her human disguise faded away. Her skin began to glow with soft blue light. Patterns moved under her skin like stars. When she opened her eyes, they shone bright purple. Hyun's mouth fell open. That's... wow. Do you believe us now? Jun asked. Hyun nodded slowly. Those men in suits yesterday. They're aliens too. Yes, Nari said. Vorsath hunters. They want to capture me. Hyun leaned forward. Why? What makes you so special? My people can connect with energy fields. The Vorsath want to use us as power sources for their ships and weapons. Hyun thought for a moment. We need help. I know someone. No more people, Jun said quickly. It's too dangerous. This person already knows about aliens, Hyun said. Dr. Kang, my old professor. He's been studying strange signals from space for years. Everyone thinks he's crazy, but maybe he's not. June frowned. How do we know we can trust him? Because the Vorsath tried to kill him last year, Hyun said. June and Nari both stared at him. What? June asked. How do you know this? I help with his research sometimes. Last year, men in perfect suits came to his lab. They tried to delete all his data. When he fought back, they tried to throw him off the roof. He survived but broke his leg. Nari's eyes turned bright yellow with interest. He might know things about the Vorsath that could help us. June checked his watch. I have to go to work. My boss is already suspicious about why I've been late. I'll take Nari to meet Dr. Kang, Hyun offered. You'd join us after work. June didn't like the idea of being separated from Nari, but they needed information. Ok, he agreed. But be careful. Don't trust anyone else. Dr. Kang's lab was in the basement of the University Science Building. It was filled with old computers and strange equipment. Charts of the stars covered the walls. Dr. Kang himself was a small man with thick glasses and a leg brace. He looked at Nari with wide eyes. A real luminary, he whispered. I thought your people were just legends. Nari stepped back, shocked. You know about my people? Dr. Kang nodded. Earth has known about aliens for decades. A small group of us monitors their activities. The public doesn't know, to prevent panic. Then you know about the Vorsath? June asked. He had left work early to join them. Yes, they arrived at the edge of our solar system 2 years ago. We've been watching them. Dr. Kang turned to his computer and showed them images of strange ships hiding behind distant planets. Why don't Earth governments stop them? Hyun asked. Dr. Kang laughed without humor. With what? Our technology is no match for theirs. All we can do is watch and hide. Nari stepped forward. I can help. I know their weaknesses. On my world, I was developing defense technology. Dr. Kang's eyes lit up. That changes everything. He pulled out a box from under his desk. Inside was a strange metal device. We found this in a crashed Vorsath scout ship. We can't make it work, can you? Nari touched the device. It glowed under her fingers. Symbols appeared on its surface. It's a communication device, she said. And more. It has maps of their fleet positions. Her eyes widened. They have 5 major ships approaching Earth. They'll be here in weeks, not months. Dr. Kang looked grim. Then we have less time than I thought. June looked at the alien device, then at Nari. What can we do? I might be able to adapt my defense prototype to Earth technology, Nari said. But I'll need help. You have it, Dr. Kang said. And I know others who will join us. June felt fear and something else. Hope. They were no longer alone. For 2 weeks, they worked day and night. Dr. Kang's basement lab became their home. Nari taught them about luminary defense systems. June used his engineering skills to adapt Earth technology to her designs. This part connects to the energy field generator, Nari explained, pointing to a drawing. June nodded, making notes. He had lost his job after missing too many days of work, but he didn't care anymore. This was more important. Hyun brought them food and kept watch for Vorsath scouts. Dr. Kang contacted trusted people around the world, building a secret network to help them. As they worked closely together, June and Nari grew closer. He noticed how her eyes turned a soft pink whenever their hands touched. She noticed how he always made sure she had time to return to her pod form to recharge. One night, as they worked alone, Nari looked up at June with serious eyes. There's something I haven't told you, she said quietly. June put down his tools. What is it? The defense system needs a power source strong enough to create a shield around the planet, she explained. Something that can process and direct energy on a quantum level. And we don't have that technology, June guessed. No, Nari said. But you have me. Jun didn't understand at first. Then it hit him. You mean, use you as the power source, like the Vorsath wanted to do? Nari nodded. My pod form can be connected to the system. I can channel enough energy to power the shield. No, Jun said firmly. That's exactly what you were running from. This is different, Nari argued. This is my choice, to save your world and stop the Vorsath. What happens to you if we do this? Jun asked, afraid of the answer. Nari looked away. My consciousness would become part of the system. I would exist, but not as an individual anymore. That's not happening, Jun said, his voice breaking. We'll find another way. Nari touched his face gently. Her hand glowed softly against his skin. There might not be another way. The next day, as they were testing the system, alarms went off. Dr. Kang rushed to his computers. Vorsath energy signatures, he said. They found us. They heard heavy footsteps above them. The building shook. They're breaking in, Hyun said, fear in his voice. Nari turned to Jun. We have to activate the system now. It's not ready, Jun argued. And I won't sacrifice you. The ceiling cracked. Dust fell around them. There's no time, Dr. Kang shouted. The first Vorsath ship has entered Earth's atmosphere. Nari began to shift back to her pod form. Her body glowed brighter than Jun had ever seen. No, Jun grabbed her arm. Wait, I have an idea. The door to the lab burst open. 2 Vorsath agents in human disguise stood there, weapons ready. Jun looked at the defense system they had built, then at his notes. Something had been bothering him for days. Earth's magnetic field, he said quickly. It already surrounds the planet. If we can modify the system to use that instead of a luminary core. Nari's eyes widened. That could work, but we need time to change the design. One of the Vorsath fired his weapon. An energy blast hit the wall near them. I'll buy you time, Dr. Kang said. He picked up a strange device and pointed it at the Vorsath. It sent out a pulse that made them stumble. Hyun, help me hold them off, Dr. Kang ordered. Jun, Nari, fix the system. As Dr. Kang and Hyun fought to keep the Vorsath back, Jun and Nari worked frantically to rewire the defense system. If this works, Nari said, your people will have done something my people never thought of, using a planet's own field as a shield. Let's hope it works, Jun said, connecting the final wires. Behind them, a Vorsath agent broke through and aimed his weapon at Nari's back. Jun, watch out, Hyun shouted. Jun turned just as the Vorsath agent fired. Without thinking, he pushed Nari aside and took the blast himself. Pain exploded in his shoulder. He fell to the ground. Jun, Nari screamed. Her body flashed with bright red light, anger. She thrust her hand toward the Vorsath agent. A wave of energy knocked him back against the wall. His human disguise flickered, revealing a gray, reptilian face underneath. Finish the connection, Jun gasped, clutching his wounded shoulder. I'm okay. Dr. Kang rushed to Jun's side, while Hyun and Nari worked frantically on the defense system. More Vorsath were coming down the stairs. They could hear heavy footsteps getting closer. It's ready, Nari said. But it needs a controller, someone to direct the magnetic field. You can do it, Jun said, his voice weak from pain. Nari shook her head. It needs human intuition. Your ability to adapt and create new patterns. That's what the Vorsath don't have. That's why they need us luminary. I'll do it, Hyun volunteered. No, Dr. Kang said. It has to be Jun. He designed it. He understands it best. Nari helped Jun to his feet. He staggered to the control panel and placed his hands on 2 metal plates. Nari put her hands over his. Our energies together, she said. My knowledge, your creativity. Their hands began to glow where they touched. Jun felt a strange warmth flow through him. It didn't hurt. It felt like being filled with light. Now, Nari said, June closed his eyes and pictured Earth's magnetic field, a huge invisible shield around the planet. He imagined it growing stronger, forming a barrier that the Vorseth couldn't cross. The machines hummed louder. The lights flickered. Through the small basement window, they could see the sky turning a strange purple color. More Vorseth agents burst into the room, weapons raised. But they stopped, confusion on their faces. Their weapons wouldn't fire. Their communication devices went dead. "It's working," Dr. Kang said in amazement. "The shield is blocking their technology." On screens around the lab, they could see news reports coming in. Strange ships had appeared in the sky worldwide, but they seemed frozen in place, unable to move closer to Earth. The Vorseth in the room backed away, then fled up the stairs. Slowly, Jung and Nari lowered their hands. The system continued to run on its own, now connected to Earth's natural magnetic field. "You did it," Nari whispered. Her eyes shone bright green with joy and pride. "We did it," Jung corrected her, human and luminary together. 3 months later, Jung stood with Nari in a large government building. His shoulder had healed. The world had changed. After the shield activated, Earth governments had to admit the truth about aliens. The Vorseth ships remained trapped outside the shield, unable to attack, but unwilling to leave. Dr. Kang now led Earth's new Department of Interstellar Relations. Him designed games that taught children about alien cultures. And Jun and Neri had become heroes. Their defense system design was being shared with other planets threatened by the Vorseth. "Ready?" Jun asked, taking Neri's hand. She nodded, looking nervous in her formal human appearance. They walked into a large room where officials waited. Dr. Kang stood at a podium. "Today we welcome the first official alien resident of Earth. Neri of the Luminary has been granted full citizenship in recognition of her help saving our planet." Applause filled the room as Neri accepted her documents. "I never thought buying a smart pet would lead to all this," Jun whispered to her. Neri smiled, her eyes flashing their true colors for just a moment. "And I never thought escaping to Earth would lead me home." Outside, more luminary refugees were arriving, their damaged escape pods guided safely through the shield. Earth had become a sanctuary, and it all started with a lonely man and an egg-shaped device he thought was just a pet. The end.